In Demon Slayer, the Upper Moon Demons are some of the deadliest and most powerful figures in the series that battle out against all Demon Slayers and humans. In this video, we'll break down the deaths of each Upper Moon and explore the circumstances, battles, and final moments that led to their demise. Let's dive into the fate of these powerful demons. Upper Moon 6, Gyutaro and Daki. Gyutaro and Daki, siblings from the lowest caste of the Yoshiwara Entertainment District during the Edo period, lived harsh lives before becoming demons. Gyutaro, despite his physical flaws, worked as a debt collector, gaining fear and respect. His younger sister Daki, originally named Ume, was stunningly beautiful and he was fiercely protective of her. Tragedy struck when a samurai burned Ume alive after an incident, pushing Gyutaro into a rage. He killed the samurai and the brothel owner responsible. After Ume's death, both siblings were turned into demons by Doma, an upper rank 6, and became upper rank 6 of the 12 Kizuki. As demons, they became incredibly powerful together. Gyutaro could see through Daki's eyes and control her, while her strength grew when he awakened. In Demon Slayer, Daki, Upper Moon 6, is decapitated by Tengen Uzui during a battle, and Gyutaro emerges from her bat. After their deaths, Daki's soul reunites with Gyutaro in Limbo, where they confront their past and bond as siblings. Both siblings endured a tragic life filled with abuse and exploitation. Daki was a child prostitute, and Gyutaro faced constant mistreatment. Despite their harsh lives as humans and demons, they find peace in the afterlife. Their connection remains strong and they choose to move on together. The siblings' tragic fate highlights their deep bond, showing that even in death they remain united, leaving behind their painful past and finding solace together. Upper Moon 5, Gyoko. Gyoko, originally a man named Managi, had a twisted obsession with death and the sea. He lived on the edge of a fishing village and loved collecting dead fish and later drowned human bodies. His weird habits creeped people out and things took a dark turn when a local kid teased him. Snapping in rage, Managi killed the child and stuffed the body into a jar. The child's parents found him and stabbed him with a fishing fork, leaving him for dead. That's when Muzan showed up and turned him into a demon. Reborn as Gyoko, he climbed the ranks to become Upper Moon 5. His creepy love for the sea and death shaped his powers, letting him manipulate water and use jars in deadly ways. In Demon Slayer, Gyoko, the Upper Moon 5 demon, meets his end in the Swordsmith Village arc at the hands of Muichiro Tokido. Gyoko's downfall comes from his arrogance and underestimating Muichiro's strength. Using his 10,000 gliding slimefish attack where deadly poison-filled fish swarm his opponent, Gyoko tries to overwhelm Muichiro, but Muichiro's sharp instincts and mastery of mist breathing let him dodge and outmaneuver the demon. Even after being trapped in one of Gyoko's pots, Muichiro breaks free. Gyoko had a chance to finish him but wasted it, too full of himself to act. That mistake costs him dearly. With perfect timing and precision, Muichiro decapitates Gyoko, ending his reign and proving that arrogance can be just as deadly as any blade. Upper Moon 4, Hantengu. Hantengu, before becoming a demon in Demon Slayer, was a thief and murderer who never took responsibility for his actions. As a human, he stole from and killed people, but always claimed he was innocent, blaming his hands like they acted on their own. Eventually, he got caught and was sentenced to death for his crime. While awaiting execution, Muzan Kibutsuji appeared and offered him a way out: become a demon. Hantengu accepted, trading one twisted life for another. Even as a demon, he kept playing the victim, refusing to face the truth about who he really was. His story shows how deeply rooted denial and cowardice shape both his human and demon lives. In the Swordsmith Village arc of Demon Slayer, Tanjiro Kamado takes down Hantengu, the upper rank 4 demon. Hantengu's true body was tiny and hidden inside his larger form, Orami. While his other forms were tough, his real body couldn't handle a clean decapitation or sunlight. Tanjiro spots the real Hantengu and with one final slash, slices off his head, ending him for good. Just before dying, Hantengu passed one major piece of info to Muzan: Nezuko, Tanjiro's sister, is immune to sunlight. That news sets up big events later in the story. Hantengu's death ends his twisted run, and in his final moments, he's still full of fear and regret, trying to justify himself just like he did in life. Upper Moon 3, Akaza, once a human named Hakuji, had a rough life that pushed him down a dark path. He was a talented martial artist who lived over a century ago, known for his strength and fighting spirit. But after losing his loved ones, Hakuji was crushed by grief and felt powerless. Wanting to become stronger and never feel helpless again, he accepted Muzan's offer and turned into the demon Akaza. As a demon, he craved strength, refused to hurt women, and constantly challenged powerful fighters. Over time, he forgot who he was, but during his final battle with Tanjiro, his memories returned. Realizing the pain he caused and the life he threw away, Akaza felt true regret. In the end, he accepted accepted his death with peace and even gratitude. In Demon Slayer, Akaza was not defeated by Tanjiro or Giyu, and let me tell you why this was the case. During their intense fight in the Infinity Castle arc, Akaza's buried human memories come flooding back. He remembers his past, the people he loved, and the pain he caused. Overwhelmed with guilt and finally seeing how far he'd fallen, he realizes he can't keep running from who he was. Wanting to atone and be reunited with his loved ones, Akaza uses his own technique to end his long-lost journey. In his last moments, he thanks Tanjiro for helping him remember and even smiles, finally at peace. It's a rare, powerful end for a demon, one that comes from redemption, not defeat. Upper Moon 2, Doma. Upper Moon 2 in Demon Slayer was a cold, emotionless nihilist who didn't believe in gods or an afterlife. Even as a child, he showed no real feelings. When his mother killed his unfaithful father and then poisoned herself, he was more annoyed by the mess than sad. Born with rainbow-colored eyes, people believed he could hear the gods, leading him to head the Eternal Paradise cult. At 20, he became a demon after meeting Muzan. He kept running his cult, but used it to lure women, believing they were more nutritious. He rose to Upper Moon 2 by devouring humans. Only when dying, poisoned by Shinobu and finished off by Kanao, did he feel anything real. In the afterlife, he surprisingly confessed love for Shinobu, his first genuine emotion ever. In Demon Slayer Doma, the Upper Moon 2 demon meets his end through a mix of poison and teamwork. Shinobu Kocho fills her entire body with wisteria poison, knowing she'll die but hoping it'll weaken Doma. When he absorbs her, the poison kicks in hard, breaking down his body from the inside. While he's struggling and already falling apart, Kanao Tsuyuri jumps in and with Inosuke's help slices off his head, finishing the job. After death, Doma ends up in the afterlife, strangely calm, and for the first time ever, he actually feels something real. He realizes he's fallen in love with Shinobu, the very person who killed him, showing emotion he never had in life. Don't you think it's a little ironic and weirdly touching end for Doma to meet his end this way, being such a cold character? Upper Moon 1, Kokoshibo. Kokoshibo's backstory in Demon Slayer is a tale steeped in tragedy, driven by ambition, fear, and jealousy. As a human, he was known as Michikatsu Tsugikuni, the older twin brother of the legendary swordsman Yoriichi. A formidable warrior and demon slayer himself, Michikatsu was deeply affected by the tension between his aspirations and the shadow cast by his brother's extraordinary talent. His obsession with leaving behind a legacy and his fear of death ultimately led him down a dark path. And unfortunately for him, there was no option of turning back. Born into a samurai family during Japan's Sengoku period, Michikatsu and Yoriichi were both prodigiously gifted. However, Yoriichi stood out even more, having been born with the Demon Slayer mark and an unparalleled breathing style. Though Michikatsu was highly skilled, he couldn't match his brother's natural genius. This bred a deep sense of envy and inadequacy within him. He began to see himself as inferior, tormented by the idea that he would never reach the heights Yoriichi effortlessly attained. Eventually, Michikatsu awakened the Demon Slayer mark himself. While it enhanced his power, it came with a devastating cost. Those who bore it were destined to die by the age of 25. This revelation filled him with dread. He feared not just death, but the loss of his strength, purpose, and the legacy he desperately sought to build. In his desperation, Michikatsu accepted an offer from Muzan Kibutsuji, the progenitor of demons. Muzan promised him a way to escape death and preserve his abilities by becoming a demon. Michikatsu agreed, abandoning his humanity, betraying his comrades, and taking on a new identity as Kokushibo, the fearsome Upper Moon one. His transformation was not just an escape from mortality, but a tragic surrender to envy and despair. Driven by the need to outshine Yoriichi, Kokushibo sacrificed everything he once stood for, becoming a symbol of the very darkness he once vowed to destroy. In Demon Slayer, Kokushibo's death is dramatic and tragic. After getting decapitated, he regenerates with a stronger form and feels victorious until he catches a glimpse of his monstrous reflection in Sanemi's blade. Disgusted by what he's become, self-hatred kicks in and his body begins falling apart. Though he tries to heal, it's too late. Sanemi and Gyome strike together with powerful blows, pushing him past the point of recovery. As he disintegrates, Kokushibo is overwhelmed with regret, realizing all his strength and ambition only led to loneliness and ruin. His death marks the end of his long, bitter pursuit of greatness. Well, that's a wrap on every Upper Moon death in Demon Slayer. Each of these demons met their end in unique, often tragic ways, showing the complexity of their characters. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more Demon Slayer content.